We are live now, sir.
Hari Om. Namaste to all. Prostrating at the lotus feet of Shrotriya Brahmanishta Sadguru Swami Virajeshwara Saraswati and the entire Guru Parampara on behalf of all of us, today's discourse on Viveka Chudamani will continue with the Mangalacharana Shlokas. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha. सदाशिवसमारम्भां श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् ॐ नमो भगवते विराजेश्वराय हरिः ॐ. Now, Acharya, we had stopped at the shloka or verse number 219 last time, wherein Acharya is now explaining in his own unique style the pointers towards the Atmavastu itself. How best the Atmavastu or Pratyekatma or the Parabrahmavastu or the Brahmavastu, it can be realized, comprehended by the subtlest, finest part of the buddhi in our own heart, how it can be realized, how it can be actually experienced. So I was telling last time, next 3 sets of shlokas, they go together. One basic point on the aspects just now I have said. ಈ ಮುಂದಿನ 3 ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ್ಮತತ್ವ ಅಥವಾ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ತತ್ವ ಅಥವಾ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮತತ್ವದ ನಿರೂಪಣೆಯನ್ನ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಬಹಳ ಸುಂದರವಾಗಿ ವಿವರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ವಸ್ತು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ವಸ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮಂಥವರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ. ದೇಹಂ ಧಿಯಂ ಚಿತ್ ಪ್ರತಿಬಿಂಬಮೇವಂ ವಿಸೃಜ್ಯ ಬುದ್ಧೋ ನಿಹಿತಂ ಗುಹಾಯಾಂ ದೃಷ್ಟಾರಮಾತ್ಮಾನಮಖಂಡಬೋಧಂ ಸರ್ವಪ್ರಕಾಶಂ ಸದಸದ್ವಿಲಕ್ಷಣಂ. ದೇಹಂ ಧಿಯಂ ಚಿತ್ ಪ್ರತಿಬಿಂಬಮೇವಂ ವಿಸೃಜ್ಯ ಬುದ್ಧೌ ನಿಹಿತಂ ಗುಹಾಯಾಂ ದೃಷ್ಟಾರಮಾತ್ಮಾನಮಖಂಡಬೋಧಂ ಸರ್ವಪ್ರಕಾಶಂ ಸದಸದ್ವಿಲಕ್ಷಣಂ. As last time Acharya had said, the example, how a viveki, a learned one, the wise one, a real mumukshu will not bother about the jar filled with the water and the sun reflecting in the water within the jar. He will set aside all the 3 and he will look up in the sky to see the real sun blazing. In the same way, now Acharya says, with that example in the mind, Deham dhiyam chit pratibimbam evam visrujya buddhau nihitam guhaya. So, in the same way, a viveki, a mumukshu, a real sadhaka, a qualified disciple, he will give up deham dhiyam chit pratibimbam evam. He will give up the gross body. Dhiyam refers to buddhi, that is Vijnanamaya Kosha, which also includes all the other antakarana like mind, ego, ahankara, mana, chitta, buddhi. So, setting aside buddhi also, not bothered about that, and chit pratibimbam evam, the reflected Chaitanya in the buddhi itself, Chidabhasa, all the three, setting aside. A Viveki, Buddhau nihitam guhayam, he will concentrate on that sadvastu which is inside the cave of the buddhi. Andre, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮತ್ತು ಅಹಂಕಾರಾದಿ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಂತಃಕರಣ ಮತ್ತು ಆ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಚಿದಾಭಾಸ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಬೆಳಕನ್ನ ಮೂರನ್ನೂ ಬದಿಗೊತ್ತಿ ಆ ಬುದ್ಧಿಯ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸದಾ ಸರ್ವತ್ರ ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಆ ಒಂದು ವಸ್ತು, ಅದು ನಿಜವಾದ ಆತ್ಮತತ್ವ. ಆ ವಸ್ತು ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ದೃಷ್ಟಾರಮಾತ್ಮಾನಮಖಂಡಬೋಧಂ ಸರ್ವ ಪ್ರಕಾಶಂ ಸದಸದ್ವಿಲಕ್ಷಣಂ. ಅದು ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಸರ್ವವ್ಯಾಪಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ, ತಾನೇ ಅರಿವಿನ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ, ತನ್ನನ್ನು ತಾನೇ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ, ಸರ್ವಸಾಕ್ಷಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಅಖಂಡ ಬೋಧ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಜವಾದ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಸ್ವರೂಪರಾಗಿ ಸರ್ವಪ್ರಕಾಶಂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಸದಸದ್ವಿಲಕ್ಷಣಂ, ಸತ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅಸತ್ ಇವೆರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಬೇರೆಯಾಗಿ ಹೊರತಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಆತ್ಮವಸ್ತು, ಅದು ಬುದ್ಧಿಯ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ. So now Acharya starts saying, ದೃಷ್ಟಾರಂ ಆತ್ಮಾನಮಖಂಡಬೋಧಂ ಸರ್ವಪ್ರಕಾಶಂ ಸದಸದ್ವಿಲಕ್ಷಣಂ ನಿಹಿತಂ ಗುಹಾಯಾಂ ದೃಷ್ಟಾರಂ ಆತ್ಮಾನಂ ಅಖಂಡಬೋಧಂ ಸರ್ವಪ್ರಕಾಶಂ ಸದಸದ್ವಿಲಕ್ಷಣಂ. Now he goes on explaining all the pointers. We don't say characters. All these pointers pointing towards that ultimate truth. What are these pointers? Acharya says, inside the cave of the buddhi, the Atma which is residing, the Parama Chaitanya which is inside the body, it means inside the buddhi, means inside deep in your antakarana, it is residing. And what is that? It is drashtaram atmanam akhandabodham sarva prakasham sadasadvilakshanam. It is a seer itself, drashtaram. It is a knower itself. There is no object or subject. Points are here. It itself is the witness, as last time Acharya said. It itself is a seer. It itself is a knower. So it is drashtaram. There is no second vastu here. So it itself sees. So the seer, the knower is called in Vedanta drashtaram. So that Parama Chaitanya is a drashtaram. That Atma vastu is drashtaram inside the buddhi. That cosmic consciousness, that supreme consciousness, that Parama Chaitanya, which cannot be understood. It is nameless and formless. So that is drashtaram. That is atmanam akandhabodham. So it is akandhabodham means it is of a nature of unlimited knowledge. Akandhabodha andre sarvada sada jnana swarupanagi ಬೆಳಗ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಆ ಪರಮ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಆತ್ಮವಸ್ತು. Sarva prakasham sadasatvilakshanam. It is self-shining. It is self-shining itself. It is radiating itself. It is illuminated by itself. ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಪರಂಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಸ್ವರೂಪನಾಗಿ ಸದಾಕಾಲ ಸರ್ವತ್ರ ಸರ್ವಾವಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಪರಮ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ವಸ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ಬುದ್ಧಿಯ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ. ದೇಹದ ಒಳಗೆ, ಬುದ್ಧಿಯ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಈ ಪರಮ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ವಸ್ತು ಬೆಳಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್ವತ್ರ ಸದಾಕಾಲ. ಸರ್ವ ಪ್ರಕಾಶಂ ಸದಸದ್ವಿಲಕ್ಷಣಂ. ಸತ್ ಮತ್ತು ಅಸತ್ ಈ ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಹೊರತಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ವಸ್ತು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಸರ್ವ ಪ್ರಕಾಶಂ ಸದಸದ್ವಿಲಕ್ಷಣಂ pointer means it is radiating itself, all the light of the knowledge, the light of the jnana, and it is beyond, it is different from sat and asat. Sat and asat. It is neither sat nor asat. Sadasat vilakshanam. Now here in these shlokas, Sringeri Sharada Pita Jagadguru Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal goes on explaining these shlokas, extensively quoting all the pointers in the Upanishad itself, different Upanishads, what they say on this Parama Chaitanya, Atmavastu. In detail, he gives the exposition. Now for Sadasadvilakshanam point, Mahaswami writes in his Bhashyam commentary, now normally Sat and Asat means real and unreal in the normal Vedantic sense. ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಈ ಭಾಷ್ಯ ಬರೀತಾ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಸತ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸದ್ವಸ್ತು, ಅಸತ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಿಥ್ಯಾ ಜಗತ್ತು, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಅಸತ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ, ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ. ಬಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ದಿ ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿ ರೈಟ್ಸ್, ಹಿಯರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಸತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಸತ್. ಸತ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಿಸಿಬಲ್, asat what is invisible. What is visible to our can be experienced by our senses, what is not cannot be experienced, asat. So sat, that is your sthula sharira, visible. This universe jagat is visible. Sthula sharira, gross body is sat. What is asat? The invisible part of the gross body, that is the other basic elements which go to form the gross body, it is invisible. Plus the antakarana, totally invisible. So this Atma Vastu is beyond Sat and Asat. It is beyond the visible and invisible objects. That is how Mahaswami goes on explaining. And then next shloka continues the nature of Atman. Nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam antarbahishshunyam ananyamatmanaha vijñāya samyak nijaropametat puman vipapma virajo vimurtyuhu. Nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam antarbahishshunyam ananyamatmanaha vijñāya samyak nijaropametat puman vipapma virajo vimurtyuhu. ಮತ್ತೇನಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೇನು ಹೇಳಬಹುದು ಆತ್ಮವಸ್ತು ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಈ ಪರಮ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅದು ನಿತ್ಯ, ನಿತ್ಯವಾಗಿದೆ, ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಸ್ತು, ಹುಟ್ಟು ಸಾವು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ವಿಭು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಹರಡಿದೆ. ವಿಭು ಸರ್ವತ್ರ, ಸರ್ವಗತಂ ಸರ್ವವ್ಯಾಪಿಯಾಗಿದೆ. ವಿಭುಂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ವಿಭು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅನಂತ ಅಂತನೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸುಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮಂ, ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮಾತಿ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ವಸ್ತು, ಅಳತೆಗೆ ಸಿಗದೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಅಂತರ್ಬಹಿಶೂನ್ಯಂ, ಅದು ಒಳಗೆ ಹೊರಗೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ವಸ್ತುವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳಗೂ ಹೊರಗೂ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಒಳಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಹೊರಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಆವರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸವೇ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂತರ್ಬಹಿಶೂನ್ಯಂ ಅನನ್ಯಮಾತ್ಮನಃ. ಈ ಈ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಈ ಆತ್ಮವಸ್ತು, ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಗಾತ್ಮ ಎರಡೂ ಒಂದೇ. ಅದು ಅನನ್ಯವಾಗಿದೆ, ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಆತ್ಮವಸ್ತುವೇ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಗಾತ್ಮ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆತ್ಮವಸ್ತುವಾಗಿದೆ. ಅನನ್ಯಮಾತ್ಮನಃ ವಿಜ್ಞಾಯ ಸಮ್ಯಕ್ ನಿಜರೂಪಮೇತತ್. ಇದನ್ನು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಬುದ್ಧಿಯಿಂದ, ಮನನದಿಂದ, ಗುರು ಅನುಗ್ರಹದಿಂದ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಈ ನಿಜರೂಪಮೇತತ್, ಇದರ ನಿಜವಾದ ಒಂದು ಅವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಆತ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪವನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಆತ್ಮ ತತ್ವವನ್ನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದ್ರೆ, ಪುಮಾನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾನವ, ಅಂತಹ ಸಾಧಕ, ಅಂತಹ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಪಾಪ್ಮ. ಆತ ಪಾಪ ಮತ್ತು ಪುಣ್ಯಗಳಿಗೆ ಹೊರತಾಗ್ತಾನೆ. ವಿರಜಃ, ಆತ ರಜೋಗುಣದಿಂದ ಹೊರತಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. ರಜೋಗುಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಮೋಗುಣವೂ ಅಧ್ಯಾರೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯ ತಮೋಗುಣ ರಜೋಗುಣದಿಂದ ಹೊರತಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. ವಿಮೃತ್ಯು, ಆತ ಅಮರನಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಮೃತ್ಯುವನ್ನು ದಾಟಿ ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಇನ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ವಾಟ್ ಹಿ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ನಿತ್ಯಂ ವಿಭುಂ ಸರ್ವಗತಂ ಸುಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮಂ ಅಂತರ್ಬಹಿಶೂನ್ಯಂ ಅನನ್ಯಮಾತ್ಮನಃ ವಿಜ್ಞಾಯ ಸಮ್ಯಕ್ ನಿಜರೂಪಮೇತತ್ ಪುಮಾನ್ ವಿಪಾಪ್ಮ ವಿರಜೋ ವಿಮೃತ್ಯುಃ. If this Atma Tattva, this Atmic principle, or this Pratyagatma, Parabrahma Vastu, all these names, if this supreme consciousness, which is pulsating inside the body, if this is correctly understood, very properly understood, if it is precisely understood by the grace of God, by the grace of Guru, that is what he says, Acharya here, Samyak Vijnaya. If it is understood and then experienced, not only understanding, it is not simply understanding, you should feel it, you should experience it directly. That's what he says, Samyak Vijnaya Nijaropametat. The Nijaropa, the reality. If the reality of Atma Tattva is really understood and experienced directly, Acharya is hinting these things here. If it is really understood means, if you by the grace of God, by the grace of Sadguru, if it can be really internalized and you experience first-hand, direct. That's what Acharya means here. Samyak Vijnaya Nijaropametat. If this is understood by Puman, by the sadhaka, by the spiritual aspirant, what is to be understood? If the reality is understood correctly, that person, Puman, he becomes Vipapma Virajaha Vimrutyuhu. The last line of the shloka. Such a person becomes, such a qualified disciple becomes Vipapma Virajaha Vimrutyuhu. Now, Chandrasekhara Mahaswami, Jagadguru Sringeri Sharada Peetham, extensively he goes on explaining these things in his own method. Now such a person becomes Vipapma. Mahaswami writes here in his Bhashyam, Vipapma generally means sinless. Such a person, he becomes devoid of papa, the evil deeds. Papa is a word which has no synonym in English properly. Papa means all such our actions which lead to accruing all negative qualities in our chitta. The actions performed in the life which are totally negative in their nature, vrittis. So they are called papa karmas. In English, unfortunately, the nearest word is sin. So the person becomes sinless. But here Mahaswami writes, Vipapma means not only he becomes sinless, even the punya, even that what is accrued in your life by doing virtuous deeds, even that punya also, he becomes devoid of that punya phala also. So what Mahaswami writes here, Vipapma means a person who has realized he not only becomes, he is devoid of papa karmas, even the punya karmas, it goes along with that. Papa and punya go together. And he explains that point very well. Why a jnani goes beyond the punya phala of karmas. Even the punya karmas, the jnani is not bothered. Why? Because all the virtuous deeds when you do in your life, any small thing, any type of action, any karma, which results in accruing punya, what happens? Again, it is a bondage which leads to the next birth. In order to experience the fruits of your punya karma you have done in this birth. ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಪಾಪ ಮತ್ತು ಪುಣ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಮೀರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯಾದವನು. ಆತ್ಮತತ್ವವನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದವನು ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಮೀರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಆತ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಕರ್ಮಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಪಾಪ ಕರ್ಮಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಆತನಿಗೆ ಎರಡೂ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಪುಣ್ಯ ಕರ್ಮಗಳು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಭಗವಂತನಿಗೆ ಅದು ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಪ್ರೀತಿ, ಆತನ ಒಂದು ಅನುಗ್ರಹ ಸಿಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಕರ್ಮಗಳು ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಪುಣ್ಯ ಕರ್ಮಗಳನ್ನು ಸಹ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅವನು. ಆ ಅಹಂಕಾರ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದಾಗ, ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಪುಣ್ಯಕರ್ಮ ಅಂದಾಗ ಅದು ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಜನ್ಮ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಪುಮಾನ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ವಿಪಾಪ್ಮ. So he is beyond papa phala and punya phala, both. He is not concerned with the papa phala and punya phala. He goes beyond that. Virajaha, he goes beyond rajas. Again, it should be understood here, raja means also, it includes tamoguna. Rajoguna and tamoguna, he transcends both. Such a person transcends both rajoguna and tamoguna, so it's called virajaha. And vimurtyuhu, he becomes a deathless. So such a puman, after realizing correctly atma tattva samyak vijnaya nijarupametat. What is that atma tattva? In the first line, first two lines Acharya has explained. Nityam vibham sarvagatam susukshmam antarbahishunnyam ananyamatmanaha. So nityam means eternal, eternally present, infinite. Vibhum, infinite. This atma tattva, this parama chaitanya cannot be quantified. It is beyond your measurement of quantity. It is infinite. Vibhum means almost ananta. Sarvagatam, it is there everywhere. Sarvagatam, everywhere. Sarvantaryami, as it is called. This atma tattva is everywhere, completely present everywhere. Sarvagatam. Susukshmam, it is subtler than subtlest. Sukshmati sukshma, it cannot be comprehended by any of our indriyas. It cannot be seen, it cannot be touched, it cannot be felt, it cannot be smelled, it cannot be tasted. All our five indriyas cannot grasp. So it is so subtle. This Atma Tattva, subtler than the subtlest, Sukshmati Sukshma. So, Susukshma, as it is written here. Sarvagataha Susukshmaha. It is there everywhere and in the subtlest form. ಸರ್ವಾಂತರ್ಯಾಮಿಯಾಗಿ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮಾತಿ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಯೂ ಹರಡಿಕೊಂಡಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆತ್ಮತತ್ವ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಉಪನಿಷತ್ತುಗಳ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಭಾಷ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಈ ಎರಡು ಪದಗಳಿಗೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಸರ್ವಗತಂ ಸುಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮಂ, Mahaswami writes in his commentary, all the real truth expounded in Upanishads. In Shvetashvatara Upanishad, there is a beautiful mantra. Eko Devaha Sarvabhuteshu Gudaha Sarvavyapi Sarvantaratma. Not very difficult to understand. In Shvetashvatara Upanishad, the mantra says, Eko Devaha Sarvabhuteshu Gudaha Sarvavyapi Sarvantaratma. Eko Devaha. There is only one Chaitanya, there is only one God, there is only one supreme cosmic force, what we call as God, Ishwar. Eko Devaha. There is only one, no second, no third. Eko Devaha Sarva Bhuteshu Gudaha. This is Gudha means totally, it is invisible. The finest of the finest, minute of the minutest. It is present in Sarva Bhuteshu, in all beings it is present. Eko Devaha Sarva Bhuteshu Gudaha. Who is telling this? Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Sarvavyapi Sarvabhutantaratma. Sarvavyapi. It is omnipresent, omniscient. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಸರ್ವಾಂತರ್ಯಾಮಿಯಾಗಿ ಹರಡಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಂದೇ ವಸ್ತು, ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ಈಶ್ವರ, ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ದೇವ, ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಗೂಢವಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಿವಿಗೆ ಕೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. That is what Shvetashvatara Upanishad says on the Sadvastu, Atma Tattva, the Parama Chaitanya, Parabrahma Vastu, E Pratyagatma inside our body. The Kathopanishad, Mahaswami gives another Mahamantra of Kathopanishad here, explaining the same thing. How different Upanishads explain the same thing, so that we should understand. The Katha Upanishad says, Esha sarveshu bhuteshu gudaha atmana prakashate. Esha sarveshu gudaha bhuteshu atmana prakashate. So this Atma Tattva is present in all individuals, all organisms, Gudaha inside, in the subtlest form, minutest form, which we cannot fathom, understand, which we cannot discern by any electron microscope. We cannot find out in the laboratory by any method of our computer analysis or laboratory experiments. The scientist cannot discern what is this Atma Tattva by their own intelligence, by any number of experiments conducted. Gudaha. Eshaha sarveshu bhuteshu gudaha atma na prakashayate. It is not visible. Na prakashayate. Idu kannige ಕಾಣೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೇವಲ ಲಕ್ಷ ಜನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಂಪನ್ನನಾದ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ ಹೊರತುಪಡಿಸಿದರೆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ಕೃತಿಯಿಂದ ನೂರಾರು ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಜನರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬನಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಈ ಆತ್ಮತತ್ವ ವಸ್ತು ಪ್ರಕಾಶ ಹೊಳೆಯುತ್ತೆ ಹೃದಯದ ಒಳಗಡೆ, ಉಳಿದವರಿಗೆ ಇದು ಹೊಳೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನ ಪ್ರಕಾಶತೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಆತ್ಮತತ್ವ ನ ಪ್ರಕಾಶತೆ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ವಿಸಿಬಲ್ however you try. The same thing Lord Krishna Paramatma tells in Bhagavad Gita. Same point in the simplest shloka. The one charana of the shloka is so famous. Our Gurudev was always fond of that. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavrutaha. Bhagavad Gita. Lord tells Arjuna. Krishna Paramatma tells Arjuna. Naham prakasha sarvasya yoga maya samavrutaha. Sarvasya na aham prakashaha, because I am surrounded by my own yoga maya, my own maya shakti. Yoga maya samavrutaha. So look Arjuna, I am not visible. I cannot manifest in the heart of every individual, though I am present in every individual, in the concealed form. I am not visible to all because I am surrounded by my own Yogamaya potency. That delusory potency or illusory potency, which is Acharya earlier in Vivek Chudamani has said about that. You remember that on the exposition on Maya. It is Anirvachaniya Maya, Acharya says. Acharya says in the Vivek Chudamani earlier, Avyakta Namni Paramesha Shakti Anadya Vidya Trigunatmika Para. The shloka starts like that earlier. Avyakta Namni Paramesha Shakti. Acharya himself called this as Paramesha Shakti. Which one? The Maya itself. And Krishna, what he tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, same thing. Naham, na aham. I am not. Naham prakashaha sarvasya yoga maya samavrutaha. I am covered by my own maya. So I have imprisoned myself in the outer wall called Maya inside your heart cave or the cave of the buddhi. I am present, I am observing, I am a witness, but I am surrounded by my own fourth wall called Maya. So that you cannot see me, you cannot feel me, you cannot experience me. So the Maya is not something different, it is his own projection. That potency has come from Lord himself, Ishvara himself. Ishvara is along with the Maya in the creation, has appeared in the Saguna Bhava with a name and a shape. The same Ishvara Tattva appeared in the form of name and shape with his own Maya. And the whole universe is nothing but creation by Maya itself. So it cannot be seen. So here, Sarvagatam Susukshmam. So Susukshma, Sarvagata. The Atma, Paramatma Tattva, Ishvari Tattva is inside you and me equally. In all animals equally. Only thing, I am not able to see, perceive, experience. You are not able to see, perceive, and experience because we are not yet destined. Until we know the reality by the again grace of God, by the grace of Sadguru, then only the veil of Maya can be removed. Paramatmana anugraha ago tanaka, ಆ ದೈವ ಕೃಪೆ ಆಗೋ ತನಕ, ಸದ್ಗುರು ಕೃಪೆ ಆಗೋ ತನಕ ಈ ಮಾಯೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಹರಿಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ದರ್ಶನ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅನುಭವ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So that is how Acharya Mahaswami writes on Bhashya on Sarvagatam Susukshvam Antarbahishonyam. Antarbahishunyam. Mahaswami says, he gives the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad example, the Maha Mantra, where it is a long one. The mantra Anuvaka is so long, where in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, to explain about what cannot be explained, to explain the Atma Tattva, to explain Brahma Tattva, Brahma Padartha or Atma Padartha, it starts that this Atma, this Paramatma, Vastu, it is Agrahya, Asthula, Anananu, Aharsva. That is the letter A refers to not. For example, Agrahya means which you can grasp, which you can possess. Agrahya means not. You cannot possess. For example, Drushta means that which can be seen. Adrushta means that which cannot be seen. Pratyaksha means directly visible in front of you, present in front of you. Apratyaksha means not. It is not, though present, not visible. Asthula. Sthula means it is with a form, visible form, solid form, in the form of a body, let us say. Sthula, gross body. Asthula means not. Opposite word. It is not gross body. Like that. So in the same Anuvak, in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, these words are there. Which one? Antarbahishunyam. Antaram abahyam. That word is there. Antaram abahyam. From that, this word has come in the Vivek Chodamani. Acharya has taken that. It is neither inside nor outside. Neither inside nor outside means what? It is beyond this, your quantification, your limited mind. If you say it is only inside, means it is not outside. If you say it is only outside, means it is not inside. So, it is beyond these words of using inside and outside. Antarbahishunyam. Antarbahishunyam. Antarbahishunyam means that quantification we should not do. ಅದು ಒಳಗೂ ಇದೆಯೋ ಹೊರಗೂ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಒಳಗೆ ಹೊರಗೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಆತ್ಮವಸ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಅದು. ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಬರೀ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ. ಸರ್ವವ್ಯಾಪಿ, ಸರ್ವಾಂತರ್ಯಾಮಿ, ಸರ್ವವ್ಯಾಪಿ, ವಿಭು. All these words refers to the omnipresence and the omnipotent nature of that which cannot be explained, that vastu which cannot be explained. So, nityam vibham sarvagatam susokshmam antarbahishunyam ananyamatmanah. Ananyamatmanah. Atmanah ananyam. Ananyam. Atmanah ananyam. Andre, it means Ananya antandre, not anya, not the other. It is your own. That is the meaning. Anya andre bere anta artha. Ananya andre bere aldiro nin ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋ ವಸ್ತು ನಿಂದೇ ವಸ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋ ಅರ್ಥ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋ ಈ ಆತ್ಮ, ಆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಎರಡು ಒಂದೇ ಅನ್ನೋ ಭಾವ ಅನನ್ಯ. So the word ananya means that which is outside, the same thing is inside. That what you call as God, all pervading Ishvara Tattva, what you call as Paramatma, the same thing is inside what you call as Pratyagatma, your self. So, the Atma inside, the Jiva inside, is the same which is outside. Ananya. That means there is no difference between Atma and Brahma. Atma Padartha inside and Brahma Padartha outside. Both are one and the same. So when these things are Vijnaya Samyak Nijarupame Tatpaman Vipapma Virajo Vimurtyu. So such a person who realizes all these things, nature of Atma. ಸೊ ಯಾವ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಸ್ಫುಟವಾಗಿ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ಸದ್ಗುರುವಿನ ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಒಳಗೆ ತಾನೇ ತಾನಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ, ಅನುಭವಕ್ಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೋ, ಯಾವ ಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಮುಹೂರ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಅನುಭವ ಉಂಟಾಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆತ್ಮಾನುಭವ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಆತ್ಮ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು. ಈ ಆತ್ಮಾನುಭವ ಉಂಟಾದ ಕ್ಷಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಚ ಪುಮಾನ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ವಿಪಾಪ್ಮ ವಿರಜಃ ವಿಮೃತ್ಯು. He becomes sinless, rajoguna-less, and deathless in simplest English. ಅಂತಹ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಪಾಪ ಪುಣ್ಯಗಳಿಂದ ಹೊರತಾಗಿ, ರಜೋಗುಣಗಳಿಂದ ಹೊರತಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಮೃತ್ಯುವಿನಿಂದ ಹೊರತಾಗಿ ಅಮರತ್ವವನ್ನು ಪಡೀತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಶ್ಲೋಕ, ಸೇಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್. So such a person who realizes this is Atma Swarupa, who understands, perceives this Atma Swarupa inside. So such a jnani, what happens? Next shloka Acharya writes. So ಈ ವಿಷಯವನ್ನು ಸ್ವಂತ ಅನುಭವಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಪರೋಕ್ಷಾನುಭೂತಿ, ನೇರವಾದ ಅನುಭವಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ, ಅಂತಹ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ, ಅವನು ಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಪಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಆತ್ಮತತ್ವ ಅನುಭವವಾಯಿತು ಆತ ನಿಜವಾದ ವೇದಾಂತದ ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ. ಜ್ಞಾನವನ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ. ಈ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಎ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಅಂತನೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬಹುದು, ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಅಂತನೂ ಹೇಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಆತ್ಮ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ, ಆತ್ಮತತ್ವವನ್ನು ಅರ್ಥಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಅವರನ್ನು ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಅಥವಾ ವೇದಾಂತದಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಒಂದೇ ಶಬ್ದ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ. ಸೊ ಆ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಶ್ಲೋಕ. ವಿಶೋಕ ಆನಂದಗನೋ ವಿಪಶ್ಚಿತ್ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಕುತಶ್ಚಿನ್ನ ಬಿಭೇತಿ ಕಶ್ಚಿತ್ ನಾನ್ಯೋಸಿ ಪಂಥಾ ಭವಬಂಧ ಮುಕ್ತೈಃ ವಿನಾ ಸ್ವತತ್ವ ಅವಗಮಂ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷೋಃ. ವಿಶೋಕ ಆನಂದಘನೋ ವಿಪಶ್ಚಿತ್ ಸ್ವಯಂ ಕುತಶ್ಚಿನ್ನ ಬಿಭೇತಿ ಕಶ್ಚಿತ್ ನಾನ್ಯೋಸ್ತಿ ಪಂಥಾ ಭವಬಂಧ ಮುಕ್ತೈಃ ವಿನಾ ಸ್ವತತ್ವ ಅವಗಮಂ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷೋಃ. ಸಚ್ ಎ ಪರ್ಸನ್, ಅಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ, ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯಾದವನಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆತ ಶೋಕರಹಿತನಾಗ್ತಾನೆ, ದುಃಖರಹಿತನಾಗ್ತಾನೆ. ವಿಶೋಕ, ಆನಂದ ಘನ, ಆನಂದ ಸ್ವರೂಪನಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಹ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ. ವಿಪಶ್ಚಿತ್ ಅಂತ ತಿಳಿದವನು, ವಿಪಶ್ಚಿತ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ. ಸ್ವಯಂ ಕುತಶ್ಚಿನ್ ನ ಬಿಭೇತಿ ಕಶ್ಚಿತ್, ಅವನು ದೇಹ ಇರೋವರೆಗೆ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ, ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೂ, ಯಾವ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲೂ ಆತನಿಗೆ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಉಂಟಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನ ಬಿಭೇತಿ, ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಬರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವುದರಿಂದಲೂ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ನ ಅನ್ಯ ಅಸ್ತಿ ಪಂಥಾ ಭವಬಂಧ ಮುಕ್ತೇ ವಿನಾ ಸ್ವತತ್ವ ಅವಗಮಂ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷು. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಮುಮುಕ್ಷು, ಈ ಜಿಜ್ಞಾಸು, ಆತನಿಗೆ ಈ ಸಂಸಾರ ಬಂಧನದಿಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ದಾರಿಯೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಮಾರ್ಗವೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆತ್ಮತತ್ವವನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆತ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅರ್ಥ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ is very clearly hinting at such a jnani or vipaschit means such a realized person who understands Atma Tattva by the grace of Guru. He becomes Vishoka Ananda Ghano Vipaschit Swayam Kutaschinna Bhiveti Kaschit Nanyosti Pantha Bhavabandha Mukte Vina Swatatva Avagamam Mumukshoh. Such a person becomes Vishokaha. In Chandogya Upanishad, again it is used. Vimrutyu Vishokaha. The same phrase from Chandogya is Acharya is writing here. Vishokaha Anandaganaha Swayam Kutaschin Na Bhiveti Kaschin Na Bhiveti. He is not afraid of anything. Na Bhiveti. He is not afraid of anything. Because there is nothing to be afraid of in the life. As long as the body is there, body is sustained, till the death takes over the body, such a person is not afraid of anything at all. Na bhiveti kaschit, kutaschit na bhiveti. Yavrindalo, from anything is absolutely, he becomes fearless. Na bhiveti, not afraid. So, that is why Acharya says, for a mumukshu, for a jijnasu, na anyah asti pantha bhavabunda muktehi vina swatatva avagamam mumuksho. So, vina swatatva avagamam. So, without this, understanding your own atma tattva, your own nature, your own reality, there is no other way for a mumukshu to come out of the bondage called samsara. Nanyosti panta bhavabunda mukte vina swatatva avagamam mumuksho. So for such jijnasus or mumukshus, no other way is there to come out of the bondage called samsara. What is the bondage called samsara? Samsara means birth and death and rebirth, the cycle continuously going on. See, we are living today, we will die tomorrow, again we take rebirth and again we live all the activities, again we die. So the birth and death cycle goes on and on. There is no escape. So this is called bondage. So samsara means, as our Gurudev we always used to say, never-ending cycle of birth and death. Birth and death, never-ending cycle. It is a never-ending story. That is samsara. So we are caught up in this samsara. So once we are in this cycle of samsara, that is called bondage. We cannot escape. We are living today with a name and a form, with the ego. I am so and so, ahankara, so and so. My status is so and so. I am so and so. I am a man. I am a woman, like that, like that. I have a status. Everything is there. Let me earn more money, and more money, and more money. See, the status is there. By hook or crook, let me enjoy the life. Let me enjoy the life. For that, I need more money. So only these people are mine. Others are not mine. I live for me and my people. I live for me and my wife. I live for me and my husband. I live for me and my spouse and my children. Nobody else. Nobody else. Man in the 21st century has become so selfish, is narrowing down his responsibilities. 40, 50 years back in our country, Bharatavarsha, what was the life as we have experienced ourselves in our lifetime? It was a joint family concept. People above 70 like me will understand this so well. There was a joint family concept. We had grandfather, grandmother, father, and our uncles, aunts, all living together in one house, whether small or big. We were 3 or 4 children, all living together concept. Elders used to always advise the young ones, and we used to follow the elders out of fear in the beginning, but later out with respect. All good things were taught to us by our grandmother and grandfather, or the aunt in the house, paternal aunt in the house. All good things. So we lived together. We enjoyed together. We shared our joy and happiness and our all problems together with our brothers and sisters, like a one unit. So we knew the hardships. We knew how the life proceeds. And now what has happened? That is gone. Totally gone. We don't want. I want to live with my spouse, wife or husband, and only my children. That's all. I don't want to live with anybody else. So narrowed down. Our priorities are narrowed down. So the more and more we have become more and more selfish, we have lost touch with the reality. In the phenomenal world I am talking, not spiritual world. Even in this phenomenal world, we have lost the touch of reality. Emotions are lost, feelings are lost, the affection, love lost, helping others lost. Our children, maybe one in the family or two, they are developing themselves as narrow-minded individuals. No interaction with the other cousins. There are no cousins. All these things. So this is never-ending story of Maya, our Gurudev used to say. That is samsara. That is samsara. So to come out of this samsara, this is a bondage. We are bound, totally bound in this samsara. There is no other way other than understanding our reality. There is no other way. ಈ ಸಂಸಾರ ಬಂಧನದಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ದಾರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು. ನ ಅನ್ಯ ಅಸ್ತಿ ಪಂಥ ಭವಬಂಧ ಮುಕ್ತೈ. No other way. The only one way. What is that way? To know the reality, to know inside the real Atma Tattva. What is that? What is that Atma? What is that self? ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋ ವಸ್ತು ಅದು ಯಾವುದು? ಅದು ನಿಜವಾದ ನಾನು. ಅದು ಯಾವುದು? ಇದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳದೆ ನಿಜವಾದ ನನ್ನ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಏನು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಮೋಕ್ಷವಿಲ್ಲ, ಮುಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಜುರ್ವೇದದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧವಾದ ಪುರುಷ ಸೂಕ್ತ ಮಂತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇದೇ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ, ಇದೇ ಮಂತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಪುರುಷ ಸೂಕ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ತಮೇವ ವಿದ್ವಾನಮೃತ ಇಹ ಭವತಿ ನಾನ್ಯ ಪಂಥ ಅಯನಾಯ ವಿದ್ಯತೆ. 2 ಸಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಪುರುಷ ಸೂಕ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾನ್ಯ ಪಂಥ ಅಯನಾಯ ವಿದ್ಯತೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಪಂಥ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ದಾರಿಗಳು ಯಾವುದೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ. ಆತ್ಮತತ್ವವನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಆತನ ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಪ್ರಾಪ್ತಿಗೆ ಈ ಭವಬಂಧವನ್ನ ಇದರಿಂದ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವುದೂ ದಾರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾನ್ಯ ಪಂಥ ಅಯನಾಯ ವಿದ್ಯತೆ. ಟ್ವೈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಇನ್ ಪುರುಷ ಸೂಕ್ತ. ತಮೇವಂ ವಿದ್ವಾನ್ ಅಮೃತಂ ಭವತಿ ಇಹ ನಾನ್ಯ ಪಂಥ ಅಯನಾಯ ವಿದ್ಯತೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್. ಪುರುಷ ಸೂಕ್ತ, ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಯಜುರ್ವೇದ. ಸೊ there is no other way to come out of the bondage of samsara except knowing the reality, knowing the Atma Tattva. So next, Acharya continues. Brahma bhinnatva vijnanam bhava mokshasya karanam yena dvitiyamanandam brahma sampadyate budhaihi. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾ ಭಿನ್ನತ್ವ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಂ ಭವ ಮೋಕ್ಷಸ್ಯ ಕಾರಣಂ ಯೇನಾದ್ವಿತೀಯಮಾನಂದಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸಂಪದ್ಯತೆ ಬುಧೈಃ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಅಭಿನ್ನತ್ವ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಂ ಭವ ಮೋಕ್ಷಸ್ಯ ಕಾರಣಂ. ಈ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಚರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಈ ಮೋಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ, ಈ ಸಂಸಾರ ಬಂಧನದಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಯಾವ ಉಪಾಯ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಅಭಿನ್ನತ್ವ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಂ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಅಭಿನ್ನತ್ವ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆತ್ಮ ಪದಾರ್ಥ ಮತ್ತು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವಸ್ತು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಈಶ್ವರ ತತ್ವ ಎರಡೂ ಒಂದೇ ಅನ್ನೋ ಏಕತ್ವ ಜ್ಞಾನ. ಆ ಜ್ಞಾನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೋಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ, ಬಿಡುಗಡೆಗೆ ಕಾರಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ. ಏನ ಅದ್ವಿತೀಯಂ ಆನಂದಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ sampadyate budhaihi. So, yava budhai means ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಿಂದ ಸಂಪದ್ಯತೆ ಈ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಪದಾರ್ಥ ಹೊಂದಲ್ಪಡುತ್ತದೆಯೋ ಏನ್ ಅದ್ವಿತೀಯಂ ಆನಂದಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸಂಪದ್ಯತೆ ಬುಧೈಹಿ. So this Ananda Swarupa, this Brahma Padartha, which is of non-dual nature, this can be experienced, this can be revealed only by proper understanding and the sakshatkara, aparoksha anubhuti, direct perception of Brahma, Atma, Ekatva Bhava. That is what actually Acharya calls it here as Brahma Abhinnatva Vijnanam. Brahma Abhinnatva Vijnanam means Brahmatma Ekatva Jnana. That means Brahma plus Atma Ekatva Jnana. That means again Atma inside, to make it very simple, the Parama Chaitanya inside, which is not visible, which is beyond all the Panchakoshas, which is deep inside, invisible. It is inside your gross body, Sthula Sharira, Annamaya Kosha. Then inside the Annamaya Kosha, there is a Pranamaya Kosha, Prana Sanchara, it is still next. Then inside the Pranamaya Kosha, there is Manomaya Kosha, the mind, powerful organ. And in that Manomaya Kosha, there is Vijnanamaya Kosha, Buddhi is there. And in the Buddhi, Chidabhasa Rupa, the light of the Atman is reflected in the Buddhi, and at times you get the bliss, at times you get the Ananda in the waking state and in deep sleep state. So, Anandamaya Kosha, even that, beyond that, Atma Vastu is there, the real shining thing. So, that Atma Vastu and the Ishvara, God, the godly principle, whatever words fail here. Godly principle, Ishvara Tattva, Paramatma Tattva, Bhagavanta, ಯಾವ ಶಬ್ದ ಹೇಳಿ, ಆ ಭಗವಂತ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆತ್ಮತತ್ವ ಎರಡೂ ಒಂದೇ. ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾತ್ಮ ಏಕತ್ವ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಅದು ಅನುಭವ ಆಗೋ ತನಕ ಭವಬಂಧ ಮೋಕ್ಷ ಸಿಗೋಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಅನುಭವವೇ ಮೋಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ. ಈ ಅದ್ವಿತೀಯಂ ಆನಂದಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ, ಸದಾ ಆನಂದ ಸ್ವರೂಪದಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಏಕಂ ಏವ ಅದ್ವಿತೀಯಂ, ಒಂದೇ ವಸ್ತು ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ವಸ್ತು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇರೋದು ಒಂದೇ ವಸ್ತು, ಆ ಒಂದೇ ವಸ್ತು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. That which is eternally present, that which is omnipresent, omniscient, beyond time and space, beyond your Maya, beyond the delusion, that which is inside also, that which is outside also, that direct realization, I am that only, not this body. See, that realization responsible for escaping from the bondage of samsara. That's what Acharya means here in this shloka. Brahma bhinnatva vijnanam bhava mokshasya karanam. Yenadvitiyamanandam brahma sampadyate budhai. Budhai means jnanis. This is experienced by jnanis, paramajnanis. So with Sankalpa, today's discourse is being closed with a short Rama Bhajan. We are stopping at the shloka number 223. Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, 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 Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Namo Bhagavate Virashvara.
Most beautiful, sir. Thank you so much for this blessing. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Thank you.